Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Mac, man. I'm just having some thoughts today that I really want to put out here, and it was a total different subject matter, so I had to make a separate video for this. So let's just go. Where we are today in our society as people, I'm talking about black people. Um, I've often talked not only on my own but with other people about changing the narrative for our people. And how can we change the narrative? Well, the narrative of our people can change whenever we have a different image that's portrayed in the media and on TV shows and things like that. But what we see a lot today is like black struggle storylines, and this is always a common thread, and this is something that we need to change in media. um I just recently saw like the trailer for the Bel Air. I guess this is a remake of Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but they're doing it in a dramatic sense. And I'm not sure I really like that, man, for the simple fact that they always put us in these black struggle situations. Now, yeah, the Fresh Prince whole concept was behind a kid coming from a bad neighborhood, a bad area in Philly to Bel Air and having a better life for himself, but it was lighthearted, and it tackled subjects that we really needed to attack as a community, but it didn't give us that sense of doom and gloom. You know what I'm saying? And so to take that type of legacy and to make it a black struggle piece, to me, is really a downgrade, and it's an insult to what was made and what was created through the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. That's just me personally. That's my personal opinion, and anybody had feel free to disagree with that, and we can talk about it. But that's just how I feel. There's so many, every time you turn around, there's a black struggle piece. Everything that is pretty much top list with black actors, it's a struggle piece. Why did Denzel not win an Oscar until he played Training Day? You know, those types of things. Um, the ignorance and the toxicity and all of that stuff is what got him an Oscar, even though he had given many great Oscar winning performances before that. So we have to just be mindful of changing the narrative, not only in our households, but on the big screen and on any media platform that we are on. That's how we get that old narrative and those old stereotypes off of us, because you can sit there and you can try to deny it, but it's plain before the people's eyes who we are and what we bring to the world and what we contribute to this country. So these whole black struggle pieces, um they should be done, you know, within the right place, within the right context, within the right time. It's not something that we have to saturate the system with, because that's what I see being done. All of the movies are portraying dope dealers and stuff like that, and that's no diss to nobody, nothing like that, because the whole Power series and Empire and all of those series, some great series, but they always have that black struggle element in there all the time, and we need to start focusing on black excellence. You know, we know what the struggle's been. We've been through it, but now it's time to focus on the black excellence. And I know that I will get some pushback on people saying that we don't need to cover up, you know, where we come from and what we've been through. Granted, I can agree with that, but at the same time, like I said, we know where we come from. We know the struggles that we've been through. Why would you have somebody to rub salt in the wound or to kick you while you're down? because that's what I equate that to. You don't have to keep reminding me of what the problem is when I've lived through it. But if we start to show some solutions, if we start to have these repetitious images of making it, being victorious, walking in excellence, as opposed to the whole struggle piece and fighting from adversity. Because let's be honest, in this day and time that we're living in, not all of us are fighting from adversity as a black or a brown person. Some of us come from backgrounds where we had both parents in the home. I did. Some of us come from backgrounds where we had financial stability in the home. Some of us come from backgrounds where, we were taught right from wrong, and we had parents that invested time in us and invested, just imparted in us. So that whole scenario of just a one parent household, we can no longer just keep on holding that up as an image before us in the media, in the movies, and in the series that we watch and we intake every day. This is just what I'm seeing with my own eyes, man. And like I said, I tend to connect dots on stuff, and I tend to overanalyze things sometimes, but this is just as what I'm seeing. And I'm whenever something weighs on my heart, like I said, I'm gonna bring it out, and I'm gonna bring it before the people so that we can have a conversation about it, so I can get some other insights on it. And that's just where I'm at with it right now. So right now, I'm tired of the struggle movies. No more struggle movies. All black movies that I want to see at this point is black excellence movies. Us being in our natural element of being kings and being rulers and being in that higher echelon. No more of these woe is me. And please, this is no disrespect to all of those who had to go through those roles in order for us to be able to even have this conversation. So in no way is that any disrespect to them. Because I understand that these black exploitation movies like Dolomite and all of that back then. The I can't really name a lot of those. I was born in '77, so the black exploitation time was coming during the time I was born. But there were so many different just stereotypes that we had to play just to get a foot in the door. So I never disrespect those who had to go through that in order for us to be able to have these platforms now. But I'm just saying that the time for us to push away from those old stereotypes and that old coming from the bottom and working our way up to the top deal, we have to kill that image if we want our people to be able to walk in a better image. I've talked time and time again about the shows that used to come on, like A Different World, Cosby Show, and Rock. But let's go further back than that, because there was an image of black excellence that a lot of people skip over, and that was the Jeffersons. A lot of people will talk about Good Times and shows like that because that was showing the black struggle, and a lot of people could relate to that. But the Jeffersons showed black excellence, people living in that higher echelon, black people did more than just their family. And they showed what later on the Cosby Show would take that prototype, and they would use that into bringing black people into the 80s and the 90s. And so a lot of people forget about the Jeffersons. The Jeffersons was a show about a black man who opened up one store, and his wife was with him the whole time. She had his back, and they just work together, and they got one store and two store and three stores, and next thing you know they got a chain of stores all over New York. So now they living in a high rise in Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? Black excellence. We would never paint it in that light, because remember during that time we had we had all of the black exploitation movies that had came up through the 60s and 70s, and then you had um Good Times, which was portrayal of a black family in the ghetto. So that means that they were still in that struggle. But when the Jeffersons came along and showed this black man who was making it, which it was a spinoff of All in the House, which was Carol O'Connor, Archie Bunker for most people who are not familiar, but it was a spinoff of that. And this showed black excellence. So I would like to give the flowers to Sherman Hemsley and man, I'm just drawing a blank with Wheezy name and Florence and the Tom and Helen Will. It was just a all-star cast, and it showed black excellence. And this is what we need to get back to, because as long as we have all of these low frequency images being shown about us, and these are the only images that our children have to gravitate to out here in this whole entire internet world and media world, then we can't expect anything less. And we're going to have to fight against that by changing these images. So I I challenge anybody to challenge any influencer, any actor, any aspiring actor or actress to push this type of rhetoric so that we can get back to excellence and not operating on a lower level. This is your boy D Mac, man. This is all I wanted to get out. And yeah, I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.